Welcome back to the Michael Vincent Podcast. I'm here in Cabo San Lucas. Today I want to talk with you about personal development, about you as a spirit. You are a spirit. You have a soul, and that spirit is constantly attempting to express itself with and through you more and more in everything that you do, business, personal, financial, relationships, your character, everything is wanting to be heightened more and more, always striving to improve. That's why no matter how much money people make, they want to make more. No matter how high someone can jump, they want to jump higher. How fast someone can run the mile, they want to run it faster. Because there's this innate awareness within us that's constantly striving to exceed itself for constant growth, constant improvement. And that's something that's going to bring you the most fulfillment in your life, is to always be improving at something, whether that's your business, your character, your relationship, whatever that may be. It may be everything. But as long as you are constantly striving towards success, towards improvement, towards growth, you're going to be fulfilled. You're going to find fulfillment. You're going to find joy in that process, in that journey, because there is no one stop destination. There is no one place that you will get and just be like, because no matter how much money you make, no matter how great your relationship is, how great you are as a person, you're always going to be wanting to grow, to get better, to improve it in every way that you can. And that's something that's so vitally important in companies, in work, in businesses. Is it's not just about the company, it's about the individuals growing as well. Because if the individuals aren't growing, and they're not growing with that company, they're going to not find fulfillment. They're not going to find joy in that process because they themselves are not growing. So it's literally, it's hand in hand. The business is growing as you are growing. Personal development is everything. In order for you to really live the life of your dreams, it's going to come from you developing yourself. It's not going to come from things outside of you. Everything without comes from within. So everything that we see outside is all a reflection of what's going on inside. So if we are constantly working on ourselves, our businesses are going to improve, our relationships are going to improve, because we are improving ourselves first. And that's the thing that most people don't understand, is that if they want love in their life, they have to love themselves first. How can you expect someone to love you if they don't love themselves? This is something that people just haven't spent the time on, because they haven't spent enough time with themselves to recognize this, to develop a relationship with themselves, to understand their self more. Because if they understand their self, then they understand everyone else. Because we are all the same. We are all a spirit with an intellect living in this physical body. So when you recognize that, everything kind of becomes an even playing field. You take ego out of the equation, you take results out of the equation, you take businesses, status, whatever it may be, out of the equation, and you just realize that, hey, we're all the same. We're all living this experience all together. We're all connected, and we're all in this journey together. We may pass at different times, come at different times, but we are all enjoying, we are all living and experiencing this life together. Some of us may not be enjoying it, but that's because they're not very aware of what's taking place. Because if you are aware of what's taking place, you realize that, hey, this is about the journey. This isn't about the destination. I know that I think that when I get to this level of financial status, or I own this type of home or this type of car or develop this type of business, then I'll be happy. But the truth is that you will not be happy unless you can be happy right now with whatever is going on in your life. That's the first step for you to really succeed in this life, is to get there right now, mentally, spiritually. And when you get there, then everything will reflect that. Then you will be at peace to create that life, create that business, create that relationship, because you've gotten there internally first. And in order for you to get anything externally, you must first cultivate it internally. You must cultivate that state. Give it to yourself first. See yourself how you really want to see yourself. Give yourself the confidence. Give yourself the love, the respect. And you do that by practicing daily disciplines that are going to give you those feelings. Saying, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do it at this time, and I don't even care what happens that day. I'm going to do these things. And you do that day after day, you follow through on your word each and every single day, you will feel better about yourself. And it really comes down to you being in alignment. There's these energy centers in our bodies. There's the root chakra, which is at the genitalia area. It's the bottom of the spine. It's called the root chakra. And that's the sexual glands, the sexual centers. And if that area is off, people are going to seek things sexually. They're going to be drawn to lust, to pornography, to maybe having an overindulgence in sex or over masturbation, because they are out of whack in that center. It's off center. And then there's the gut chakra, which is right below the navel. And that's where people are overly stimulated with food. They're eating too much. They're eating bad food, junk food that's not nourishing their body. So that center is off. And then you have right above that, right above the navel, you have the pit of your stomach, which is shame, jealousy, resentment, ego. These are things that are causing you to have to identify with things, identify with a certain way of being. And then you move up to the higher centers. So those are the three lower centers, which is what most people are engaged in constantly, is overstimulation of sex, overstimulation of food, and overstimulation of identity. They want to be someone. They want recognition. They want respect. They want love. They feel jealousy. They feel selfishness, envy, resentment, judgment. These are all things that are trapped in these lower centers. So then you move up to the higher centers, like the chest where the heart is, love. You're expressing love to the world, acceptance, freedom. Then you move up higher to the throat area. You have freedom of expression. And it goes higher and higher to the third eye center. And the third eye center is freedom. You are experiencing life in such a different way. In the crown chakra, it just, all this energy is in your spine. There's energy that's in your spine that's fluid. So this fluid is in your spine that's moving up and down from your lower centers, from the spine to the upper centers into the brain, and it feeds your brain. So this fluid is flowing constantly. And when the fluid gets stuck in these lower centers, it's causing the fluid not to flow as properly up to these higher centers for you to feel love, feel joy, feel acceptance, feel freedom of expression. When you're constantly stimulating these centers over sexualization, food, selfishness, identity. When you are overstimulating these centers, it's keeping that energy down there. So you're more drawn to be in your ego. And when you start to let go of all of that, let go of the over sexualization, overstimulation of sex, of food, of identity, of jealousy, resentment, selfishness, when you let go of those feelings, it starts to raise your energy. It starts to alleviate this energy that's trapped in these lower centers to where you do start to express yourself more freely. You love yourself more. You accept yourself more. You treat others better. Then you start to be more in alignment with your true self. And by being in more alignment, you start to live more by your purpose in life. And it's so important that we understand this because we are all here to live by our purpose. And our conscience is the authentic voice of God, of the universe, of our true self. And it's guiding us every step of the way. So if you regret something, it's actually you understanding that that's something that you do not like, that you are doing, and that you shouldn't be doing. So reflect often and see what you regret. And if you regret that, cut it out of your life. And that's what I've been doing over and over every single day, writing down in my journal self-reflection. What do I regret from the day before? And I'll review it and I'll think about it. And I'll be like, okay, how would I want to act differently moving forward? So that process is so important in your growth, in your personal development. So start doing that every day if you are not doing that. Take out a journal, buy a journal, whatever it may be. You can click on the link in my bio, and there's a link to my Amazon wish list or an Amazon list that you can actually buy a journal. It's $10, and it's the same journal I have, and you just go through each and every single day, and you write down what you regret, and it puts it into perspective. You read it, you see it, and by doing that, you're alleviating this energy. You're becoming more aware of it, and you are changing it. And that's the first step to success in your life, to developing the person that you want to become, is recognizing, becoming aware of what you don't want, changing it, and acting out the new behavior that you want. So everything comes down to your development, because your development, everything in your life depends on your development. Your relationships, your business life, personal life, professional life, everything in your life depends on your development. Because if you are better at being you, everything in your life will reflect that. So don't sleep on personal development. Personal development is everything. So check out my coaching program in order for you to develop yourself to a higher degree and live your best life, live your purpose. Thanks for tuning in. Share this with someone who could really hear this right now, because we all want to help people. It feels good to give to others, because in giving, we actually receive from that giving. I love you. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you next episode.